Welcome to Unethical Podcast.
All right, my Australian friends here today. I'm going to tell you a story about how cold it gets up here. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Cool.
No, God. Get out.
I have the guests telling me to leave now. This is awesome.
Call someone else because I can't put up with that sort of behavior from Richard.
The clock struck 12, marking December 20th, 1980, when 19-year-old Jean Hilliard was leaving the American Legion bar in Boston, Minnesota. She was headed to her home in Langby, Minnesota, which is an approximate 10 minutes drive away. She decided it best to take a shortcut on gravel roads due to temperatures being around negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is negative 30 degrees Celsius for everyone except us American dickheads.
Oh, thank you for explaining, because I was going to ask.
I was like, excuse me, can I just Google this?
I can't even imagine how cold that is. That's fucked.
And that's not including wind chill.
Jesus Christ. Was she driving home?
She was driving home from the bar at midnight. And so the roads were sheer ice that night from the day's gentle thaw. As Jean tried to make the turn in her father's car, lacking anti-lock brakes, she spun out of control and landed in a nearby ditch, which resulted in a stalled engine and left Jean stranded.
Yeah, it happens a lot up here.
Yep, it does.
You want to hear a story? You want to hear a story about me hitting the ditch?
Yes.
One time when I was on tour doing stand-up, we were driving up north, and these Toronto guys, I was with them Toronto guys who really didn't know how it got as bad up here. But the one guy was driving, he was from Toronto, had like summer tires on, little car, and it was slippery. And he's driving, and I'm like, dude, I was scared. It was a fucking bad snowstorm. And as he was going to hit the day, I saw it coming, right? And out of my terror, but I knew what it was going to happen. Like, I've done this before. It's not, but I just went the ditch, and then we hit the ditch.
One time I tried to drift on purpose and I hit the ditch hard. I lost my suspension belt and I was like, you know what? I can drive without it. And they're like, no, you can't. And I was like, watch me. I drove it home.
Go over every bump and your car's just like, gadunk.
There was a lot of noises that weren't there before.
Sparks.
You got home. That's all that matters.
Well, doesn't take me long to get to an icy road, but I tell you what, especially one much like this.
Oh, nice segue.
She was stranded in the middle of nowhere with nothing but the moonlight to keep her company and no way to call for help.
Oh, yeah, because it's 1980. It's not like she's got her phone with her.
Oh, yeah. I was like, who doesn't have a phone? Okay. Yep. Cool with it.
I was born in 1980. I was like 6 months old. I was like 6 months old when this happened.
Okay. So, yeah, you can drink. You could drink at 18 years old in 1980 in Minnesota.
You can still do that now. Yeah.
Legally. She was at a bar. So Jean lived on these dusty roads all her life. She was very aware of her surroundings and she knew the land like the back of her hand. So she knew she was really close to another friend's house at the time of the crash. Okay. So she decided to abandon the vehicle and try to make it on foot the approximate 2 miles, which is like 3 kilograms. Wow.
No, it's not.
I have no idea. That's like 3 kilometers.
There you go.
For everyone except us American dickheads. And now I'm just going to keep it the imperial system because there's too many of that shit.
There you go.
She walked through the blistering cold and snow all alone in the middle of the night and extremely underdressed in a jacket, jeans, and cowboy boots.
Yeehaw.
In minus 30 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
And she abandons the vehicle.
I bet she got stipples.
You reckon? She could have cut glass with those things, man.
Oh! I thought it was an Australian word for frostbite.
Stipples, man. Stipples.
We call frostbite coldy toesies.
Cold hurt, cold pain.
Cold burn.
Hurdy coldy.
But Minnesota women, we're made of ice in our bloods and fire in our souls. She had no doubt she would make it.
3 kilometers is a fucking long walk in the cold like that. I don't care how kind of that's fucking bad. That's a long walk.
And it was super windy.
Oh God, it's so bad.
Oh God.
So Jean had walked for quite some time. Her legs and hands were completely numb. She became increasingly irritated and had a sense she may be lost or losing track of time, as she felt she should have arrived at Wally's house by now. She wasn't going to give up. She marched on and eventually spotted the chimney smoke coming from a patch of trees near a familiar farm.
Well, she got that far, eh? Wow.
Shit.
I'm surprised. And this is kind of like signs of hypothermia, right? Like starting to get confused, starting to get
Irritated. Yeah.
Yep.
Christy's constantly got hypothermia then.
For the listener, they just gave each other a loving middle finger to each other.
Excuse me, Richard. That is really dirty talk when it comes to being lesbian.
Let me clarify. They didn't finger bang each other with their middle fingers.
Flipped them the bird.
We
Yeah.
are in separate rooms of the house.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Chimney smoke.
By this point, she was peering through the rim of frost that was once her eyelashes.
Oh,
She was finally able to see her friend's house lights. So she walked a little faster and a little faster until she collapsed 15 feet from his front door, frozen, solid.
oh.
Isn't that like, isn't 15 feet like 17 centimeters in Canada or not centimeters? Sorry.
It's 15-foot long sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not very long, not very far.
That's sad.
And she was frozen.
Imagine waking up to that on your front door.
Yeah, 15 feet away for sure. That's terrifying. You wake up and Beau's just there like, ah!
It's only 4 meters, so fuck all.
Yep. Like steps away from his front door.
Holy
Oh,
crap.
this is scary. I've been cold before. I don't think I've been, well, obviously I haven't been that cold. But like, fuck, man, walking 3 kilometers in minus 30 with wind chill, probably minus 40. Oh, you must, and cowboy boots too. Like, that's the worst part for me is my feet.
No mittens or hat.
Oh, no scarf, nothing. Yeah, no Canada Goose coat.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try and to use Richard's quote, blow your wad or anything, but would she have made it if she had like a jumper or something like
Oh,
that?
for sure. If she had enough, she had the right gear, you could walk through that. It wouldn't be fun, but you could get through it for sure. You have the right boots, the right ski pants, maybe, or you could walk in minus 30. It's not good. It's not fun.
No, it's not fun. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous no matter what.
You had one of those big fluffy jackets from Anaconda, babe.
Kathmandu.
Yeah, Kathmandu jacket.
Fuck, no one can afford a Kathmandu jumper. I don't have $600 for an undergarment.
I have no idea why these stores exist in Perth. Fucking selling thermal underwear and fucking 50 whatever the level is. Fucking, I don't even know what I'm talking about, because they're just, they sell these jackets that are just like freezer jackets, and I'm just like, why do you even bother opening down here? Like, the coldest it gets is 1. And I'm pretty sure I'll be okay with just my woolly socks and a fucking normal jumper on, man. I'm good.
Well, you guys all know that person who's just cold all the time. You're like, shut up. Here's some fucking thermal underwear. Stop turning up my heat.
Don't touch the thermostat.
Yeah, exactly. I'm total dad mode like that.
Australian house, we don't have, and because it doesn't even get that cold here, we don't have central heating in Australian
That's
houses.
hilarious.
Is that like the aircon?
Yeah. Some houses do have reverse cycle air conditioning where it's heater and cold, but no, barely anyone uses it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's different.
When I lived in a trailer house, you guys, I used to have to tape this piece of metal, like it's called heat tape. And I had to tape it to my water heater or my water pipes so they didn't freeze and bust open.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I have heat trace. It's called for me. It's like a little piece of metal that goes around the pipe.
Yep.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you just tape
And
it
you just
on.
plug it in, and you plug
Yep.
it in, and it like keeps it warm. Yeah.
So you have to remember to shut it off in the summer. It's like being a farmer. It's tough.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go forward 6 hours later.
Oh.
At sunrise, Wally awoke with no knowledge of the events that took place outside of his safe, warm walls the night before. He blissfully arose, starting his morning routine, and bundled up to go warm up the ladies' car that he had brought home from the bar.
Oh, good job, Wally.
Wally's got some game.
Wally's got some game. He's got some cake tonight.
Okay.
The regret of Tally saying that was worth you saying that. That was hilarious.
The cake. I didn't know there was cake involved.
No whipped cream and sprinkles? Jeez, how mundane of you.
I don't put whipped cream on my cake.
She's not supposed to have dairy. She's lactose intolerant.
Stay away from that then.
That's not why I'm not putting cream on my cake. That's weird. Anyway, continue.
Cream on my cake. Okay. So when Wally opened his front door, to his horror, he saw Jean lying on her back, covered in pure frost, arm outstretched slightly as if she were reaching for the stars.
Oh.
Maybe she thought someone
Jesus.
would eventually come to take that hand.
Oh,
my
wow.
God.
She's probably reaching towards the door and just was like, I was hoping it was more like in a running pose. Like,
Yeah.
just throws like
I think what happened is she started crawling and then somehow just ended up on her back.
When you're hypothermic, do you, and this may be a question for Christy, do you like want to go to sleep? Because I thought that was part of it too. You just like, I'm going to bed right now. And you start taking layers of clothes off.
Because everything just starts shutting down, like your peripherals, like everything goes numb, and your body is trying to keep your blood flowing to your heart and your brain. So everything, it all starts to shut down slowly. So once your blood, basically your heart and your brain slow down to the point where you basically pass out. So that's she wouldn't have been in any pain.
So Wally's immediate thought was she was dead. Yet his bush was so huge, he wasted zero time in his hungover stupor to attempt to save her life.
Good for him.
He was partying at the same local hotspot as Jean the night before, after all, and he just couldn't believe the sight.
Of course.
He was in utter shock.
What a shock.
But
it's crazy.
He had his truck keys in his pocket, so he grabbed Jean by the jacket collar and dragged her to his vehicle.
Why didn't you just grab the hand? It's out. It's ready to be pulled.
I'd be worried it would snap off.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine how pissed she'd be if she came back to life and you'd snapped all her hair off, dragging her to
exactly.
Now she just had these little sprouts.
So where's the, maybe you're gonna get to this, but where's the hookup? She's not helping?
She helps.
Yeah. Grab a leg.
She runs out in his t-shirt from the night before, holding it down over her ass. Grabs
I really
a leg.
like this. Can I have this shirt? I really like it. It fits me good. Oh,
oh, emergency situation? Stipples and all. Let's do this.
There's no time for pants, bitch. Get out here.
I'll just put on my boots.
Okay. So when he tried to hook his arms under hers to lift her up, he realized that she was completely stiff, like a piece of meat from your deep freezer right now.
I'm not even surprised. It's fucking sad, but it's cold, man. -30, like that is cold.
She was so frozen that he was unable to bend her body to a sitting position, let alone enough just to fit her in the cab of his pickup. As a result, Wally had to borrow his lady guest's car and put the front seat down to place Jean's entire body diagonally across the cab of her car, with Jean's head in the passenger seat and her feet towards the driver's side door.
Why didn't you just put her in the bed of his pickup? Why didn't you just put her in the bed of the pickup? She's already frozen.
Just throw a tarp over it. She'll be fine.
Yeah. Instead, we're putting her in like Weekend at Bernie's. Like,
It's like a pair of legs and you're trying to drive. Like, come on, Gene, move your shit. Like,
yeah, get out of my view. I can't drive like this. Get the frozen lady out of my face. Darren, you can keep the t-shirt if you help keep her foot out of my goddamn face.
Hold her steady. Hold her steady. She's frozen.
if you can't get her foot out, put the top part of her torso off. I'd hold her outside, grab her by the hair, and just lean her out there and hold her still so I can drive.
It's awesome. You get her in there and he's just sitting in the driver's seat. She's like, what? Let's go. And he's like, seatbelts.
In 1980, thank you, Richard. In 1980, there was no seatbelt law. No one fucked with seatbelts right now.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, if you were going to fuck with seatbelts, it should be to strap a frozen person down in a car.
Yeah.
Like, if there was any need for seatbelts, that would be the moment.
It was now. Yeah.
This is I feel bad for this chick. Like, I feel bad for this lady, but it's so absurd. You cannot not make fun of it. You have to.
It's Wally. Like, he just got done with like a really euphoric moment. He was like gonna like let his one night stand leave. Like, they didn't even have to eat breakfast together. He's like, this is golden. Oh shit, this is frozen.
Poor fucking Aspidistra has had 20 seconds of heaven, and now is just wanting to have a fucking waffle. And then all of a sudden, she's trying to hold this bitch in a car while he's driving with a foot up his nose to get her somewhere. And it's like literally 1,000,000 degrees below zero.
And they're both hungover as shit. Like, oh my, I couldn't even imagine anything worse. Just being so hungover.
My parents pop in at 8 a.m. after me being hungover. I'm like, God, imagine finding a frozen person. Like,
I would take a frozen person every day of the fucking week over a hot dead person in a desert that has been cooking. The smell.
Oh yeah, because they'd be all exploded. Yeah, that's true.
just
I'd take a
mummified
frozen
all, like.
and with cholesterol dripping everywhere.
Have you got? It's very normal in Australia when you drive and like a kangaroo's been hit and it's on the side of the road, or when you drive up north and cows or something, like, because cows just wander everywhere. If they've been hit by a road train and you see them on the side of the road and they're just like fucking explode, like blown up.
Yeah.
And they're just like these huge sausages with these like little stick legs sticking up, and you just know any moment it's just going to go.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very gross and I like it.
I'd much rather a frozen one opposed to a hot one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you there, Dale.
I agree too, especially because this happens a lot up here.
Wally's always getting frozen people at his front door. Jesus Christ, Wally, what are you doing?
He should not be living out in the middle of nowhere
Yeah,
on a dusty gravel road.
Stop opening your front door when you're hungover, Wally, for God's sake. God damn.
Damn. Fucking Wally.
He's like, fuck, not again.
It's like Groundhog Day every day. Like, God damn it.
Oh my God, that would suck.
Right, so he's driving his.
He's not driving yet.
Oh yeah, but he's still trying to. He's
He hasn't
still
left.
trying to.
He hasn't left. We're still trying to get her in the car.
Holy fuck.
So her head is in the passenger seat, right?
Yep.
So he climbs in and he's inches from her face and notices there's bubbles coming out of her nose. He is shocked to realize she was still alive.
Yeah, so she's breathing.
And he raced the 10 minutes back to Foston, where this all started, to the nearest emergency room.
Oh my God.
Wow. That's nuts. Is there like an old frostbitten lady that lives up the street in the haunted house in your town? Anyways, keep going.
There is not.
Okay.
Jean was immediately rushed into the operating room, where Dr. George Sather and the team of nurses began assessing this mind-blowing situation.
Yeah, far out.
Jean's eyes were frozen wide open, fixated towards the ceiling. Though the nurses weren't sure if she could actually see, much less if she was even alive. Her pupils had zero restriction when tested with a pen light. Her pulse was tough to find through her gray porcelain-like skin, though an experienced nurse was eventually able to count no more than 12 beats per minute.
Oh, wow.
That's
This
so crazy.
nurse also said she heard a small whimper when she was left alone in the room with Jean and one other attending nurse for just one moment.
That's, oh my God, that's terrifying. But I thought you were gonna go, this nurse is my mom, or like something like that. I was gonna be like, holy fuck, man. But that's the whimper, like just a
Yep, just like
Oh.
that.
God.
This is the ultimate turning point of when they started initiating treatments to sustain her life.
Wow.
So the expectation initially was that she would be soon declared dead.
Mm-hmm.
Her skin was so hard with frostbite, they couldn't insert an IV to at least get her hydrated. Jean's internal temperature could not be read on a thermometer. So that means her internal temp was less than 88 degrees, and that's 31 degrees Celsius. The medical team quickly realized they needed to warm her up slowly, and I mean slowly. So they placed warm blankets atop her body for 1 hour at a time, replaced with warm every hour. Once her skin started to turn black, they outlined her sides with heat packs.
Oh God. I'm just picturing Wally in the waiting room being like, I just wanted some waffles. Do I have to stay here now? Or is she gonna be okay? Or
Is it all right? Can I just like nick out and grab a burger, man? I'm starving.
Could you imagine how much that would hurt?
Oh
Like-
yeah, no, it would be so painful.
Oh,
She wasn't awake yet, though.
Oh God. Yet
She was
said yet.
just turning color.
well, black's not a good color. If I was going to turn a color, I didn't want to turn black. Oh.
Can't say that. Don't say what you just said.
What I meant was frostbite black, because you turn black when it dies, right? Diabetes does that as well, or it goes green, or is it just black? Is it only frostbite?
When your skin goes necrotic, it turns black.
There you go. Okay, necrotic. If there was a color I was going to be, it does not. I do not want to be necrotic black. Save.
We've gotten I've gotten frostbite in the past, and it just turns like a big white thing. It hurts like you got burned, honestly.
Oh, is that what happened to your Willie?
No, it was just always small.
I just can't believe him when he says it so proudly.
It doesn't matter how big it is. It's how you use it.
A lot. Anyway, the medical team tried everything they could, but they didn't expect her to make it through the night. They bundled her in an electric blanket once the thawing began. And they continued to monitor with little improvement since the necrotic blackness. Jean's family had been alerted by this time, and her mother called their church to start a prayer chain for a miracle to save her dear daughter's life.
Thank God. Okay, good. This story ends happy then, because that worked for sure. I'm sure of it.
100%. And you know what? Unfortunately, if it did work, it's going to be the prayer circle that did it.
If it did work, it was God that fixed her. It wasn't modern medicine.
But if it didn't work, it was failure of modern medicine.
You guys, I think we just figured out how to speak idiot. So this church called all the other churches, and the chain quickly spread out to other cities, some as far as 70 miles away. I don't know how many kilometers that is.
With our churches combined, we will save your life, like Captain Planet. Captain Churchy, we're your hero. Gonna bring your temperature up from 0.
Yeah.
Exactly, because within hours of the prayer chain being initiated, Jean miraculously started to show signs of life. Her muscles started to go into convulsions, which meant they were thawing naturally, as they should. She regained consciousness shortly thereafter. She was very confused and had no idea of collapsing outside of her friend's house, but otherwise she was in perfect condition.
Wow.
She was able to speak coherently and retain information. To the medical staff's astonishment, even Jean's frostbite was rapidly healing after they were able to begin to give her fluids with an IV.
Hail Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Praise the Lord.
Praise
Praise
the Lord.
Do we salute Jesus? Is that what we do? Do we salute him? Because I'm saluting him.
No. What? Did she have brain damage?
She did not.
What? How? Explain this. I need answers.
I will.
People survive better by being frozen. Freezing is, if you want to preserve something, freezing it, mate. Freeze it.
Yeah, haven't you seen Futurama? He just froze himself.
I don't even think that we've gotten that far with cryogenic technology yet.
No, we haven't.
Well, Walt Disney's frozen.
And this is 1980. There wasn't a Futurama yet.
That's where they got the idea. Anyways.
Yeah.
After a month and a half stay in hospital, Jean was as good as new. Jean made a mysterious recovery with not even a toe lost to the frostbite, and her brain fully functional after being frozen to its core.
I want to see the medical report.
It's there.
The new body.
So she okay, so she's perfect, no skin damage.
Nothing. Her story was even featured on the original Unsolved Mysteries, which is the first time I had heard it.
Very cool.
During her interview with William DeLong, Jean said, quote, "It's like I fell asleep and woke up in the hospital. I didn't see a light or anything like that. It's kind of disappointing. So many people talk about that, and I didn't get anything like it." Unquote.
Oh wow. Okay. It's so weird.
It was disappointing.
That is disappointing though. Like there's a lot of hype to dying. You know what I mean? What happens? There's a lot going on in the world all about this. And if you get nothing at the end of that, you were expecting something, because it sounds like she was part of the church. She wanted to see Jesus like put his hands out and go like, "Come with me, my dear." And she didn't get that. All she got was like, "I went to bed, I woke up," and everyone's making a big deal. Fuck.
But she didn't die, is the thing.
Yeah, she didn't die. She didn't die. So she doesn't get a light. So can you tell me how long it was from when she left her car to when she ended up out in front of Wiley Wally's house?
I don't know the exact amount of minutes she was walking, but I do know she left the bar at midnight and Wally found her at 6 a.m. the next day.
3 Ks, and it was cold and it was windy. She was probably walking for like 45 minutes. Yeah, she's probably walking for like an hour.
So that's actually quite fast.
Through snow and stuff, because was it through a field? Or was it through
no, it's prairie. It's all flat, but snow hills.
There's no snow? Okay,
Snow hills,
still,
yeah.
okay.
So she was having to high knee it in cowboy boots.
That's a long time to be out in the cold.
But that's close to snap freezing as you can snap freeze a human, right? Because snap freezing now is like 40 minutes.
Do you think that rugby team that crashed the plane in the Himalayas like heard this story and was like, we probably should have waited a bit instead of eating them? Shit, maybe they were still alive. I ate my buddy's ass. I could have just.
I hope he wasn't conscious when I cut his ass cheek off.
Guys, I'm gonna give you a whole lot to think about. So be prepared.
Here it comes.
More.
I'm ready.
More.
The fact that she's alive isn't the twist. There's more.
Yep.
Oh God.
And it's one that my name is Tally Hall and I approve this message type of deal.
Okay.
Although Jean's recovery was miraculous, it's not necessarily unheard of. Of course, there were theories that the prayer chain turned things around quickly enough to keep Jean alive and her body intact.
Hail Jesus.
But Dr. David Plummer, a hyperthermia specialist, stated that once a blood sample was able to be collected, it was discovered that the night Jean nearly froze to death, she was in fact drunk as a skunk.
Yep, plastered. Yes.
There you go.
Which is most likely the definitive factor in her complete recovery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the science behind this is that the alcohol consumption may have prevented her vital organs from completely freezing by allowing blood to continuously flow through.
Mm-hmm.
Is this episode entirely written to justify your alcoholism?
The drink saved her life.
You hear that, James? The drink saved.
You hear that? You hear that, Bobby? You hear that? She survived.
Good thing it doesn't get cold enough here for you to get frozen, unless I put you in the fridge.
Unless I take her back home with me.
Yeah, I'm moving back. I'm moving to Minnesota with Tally.
You can tell it's a really fun time.
I have to get drunk or I'll freeze to death.
It's absolutely true because you can put a bottle of vodka in the freezer and it won't freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you're blood alcohol, yeah.
Yep, alcohol doesn't freeze. So if she was absolutely wasted, her blood wouldn't have froze.
So crazy.
Yeah, the survival rates of this, or those who experience body temp below 80 degrees, is between 10 and 33%. Oh, that's 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Excuse me.
That's still a lot, I would assume. Like 10% of people.
That's more than I thought.
Yeah, 100%.
10 to 33%.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jean's brain was able to freeze before her heart completely stopped beating. So blood was able to continue through. It's amazing.
Wow.
So basically, her brain was able to sustain itself on much less oxygen at the time. The best way to explain this phenomenon is that the body allows itself to go into a hibernated state in order for blood to pass through your vital organs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is what the cryogenic people are missing, is just get the fucking person liquored right up before you freeze them.
Yeah.
Like maybe this is the key.
Yeah, but how long would you stay? How long would you be able to stay like that? Like, there's only so much the alcohol would. I suppose 7 hours, but not years, right?
No, because it'd start to have a detrimental. The alcohol would start to have a detrimental effect on the body, because obviously we know what alcohol does to the liver and all of those things.
The brain. Yep.
So yeah, so you wouldn't be able to constantly have alcohol running through a body. But there are other medications that you could use. Like you could probably use blood thinners, like anticoagulants, to make a person's blood really thin, or I don't know, maybe that might freeze easier. You might want to thicken the blood. You could use medications to thicken the blood.
So interesting.
Basically, what happens when you get drunk is the water is replaced with alcohol in your blood.
Yeah, in the cells and stuff.
Good way to preserve yourself. Wink, wink.
That's why when you wake up, you feel like your mouth is full of sand because you're so fucking dehydrated.
Jean continues to live in Minnesota to this day. This incident didn't seem to faze her. Jean made an appearance on the Today Show to be interviewed about her incident. She says that was a fun experience and took her mother with her. She does not remember the 6 hours she spent laying frozen in Wally's yard. She went on with life, as she would have. She married a man also named Gene. His last name was Vig, and they went on to have 3 daughters, to which Jean's sister endearingly referred to them as the 3 little Vigs.
Oh,
so cute.
Well, you know, her eggs would be perfectly preserved.
3 little Vigs. That's so cute.
My mom actually grew up with Jean.
Really?
Yep. They ran into each other about a year after the incident at a bar, no less. Jean said she only had 1 black toe left and it was healing quickly. She told my mom that she was drinking hot brandies the night she froze, and she thinks that's what saved her life. So in turn, my mom bought a round of hot brandies in honor of Jean's survival.
Yeah.
I say we all raise a hot brandy to Jean Hilliard. That's I pretend I have one, but I mean, fucking cool. So interesting. I'm looking at pictures of her now. Do you think it's the fact that she's a ginger and has no soul that she survived, maybe?
Yeah. I think it was the hot brandies.
Yeah, I think it's the hot brandies. But no, super cool.
Do you reckon she would have? Do you reckon? All right, Bobby. Like, do you think that it would have been? She would have had less chance of surviving if she was older? Like, does her age play a factor in this?
I don't think so. I think it was the alcohol. Well, her ability to walk that far, that quick, probably.
And her ability to probably heal a lot better when you're younger and stuff.
I don't think much older. Like if she was in like her 30s, I think up to like 30s or 40s, she would have been fine. But any older, like if she was like an old lady, like 60 or like in the 70s or 80s, then she would have I don't think her body would have survived.
I don't think she would have been at the bar to drink hot brandies to begin with. So
Yeah, she probably wouldn't have put herself in that situation.
yeah,
She would have been at home with her husband of 50 years drinking.
This has all happened because she was wildly irresponsible. If she was that tanked that she was able to survive being frozen for 6 hours, why the fuck was she driving a car where there's snow and ice?
It's 1980.
Jesus should not have helped her.
I can hear you yelling from the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm angry about this. How irresponsible is that behavior? Are you joking?
She's 19 in 1980. Like,
Yep.
No,
yeah, she
I'm
was
angry.
listening to Def Leppard, just rocking it home with her big
yeah,
fucking bangs and her
her
big
fucking
curly hair.
perm. Yep. No cowboy boots. No blue eyeshadow. She was just.
Oh, she had
rocking it
cowboy
out.
boots, so she was probably listening to like Johnny Cash or some shit like that on the way home, you know?
I'm
So-
angry.
You broke Beau with the frozen lady. What a
I'm
bitch.
angry.
Drinking and driving.
She survived.
She's
and
like,
you're
I
mad.
felt sorry for you, but now I don't.
No,
Yep.
I'm victim blaming.
You should have
I'm
died.
victim blaming. Yeah, Jesus saved her when he could have saved someone else. He could have saved Matumbo over in, I don't know, some other place of the world, could have saved them. But no, he chose to save fucking Sloshy McGee. And it was all her fault. And anyway.
Hail Jesus.
Well, she's still
You
alive.
could potentially hear this.
Well, I'm angry because you made a very poor decision. But I'm sure you're a lovely lady.
I'm sure, it was the 80s, and I'm sure you taught your 3 daughters better than to drink drive.
And yeah, that's the thing. Like,
We all learn from our mistakes.
No. Her response was, I just went to sleep and then I woke up. It was disappointing. You drove
Yep.
wildly pissed, got caught for 6 hours, froze, and then you're like, well, it's fucking disappointing. What is wrong with you, Jean?
Yep.
nobody ever charged her either. She allowed to drink and drive back then. It wasn't even illegal. They didn't even need seatbelts.
Yep.
I think seatbelts came before drinking ones.
And she wasn't even wearing a seatbelt too. Yeah, fuck.
No, it was probably seatbelt laws first, because people are like, how can we drink and drive without dying? Let's put seatbelts on. Then they went, you know what? The seatbelts don't do anything. Let's just not drink and drive.
You will be jailed for having chains on your tires, but you won't be jailed for drinking and driving in 1980. We still have a long way to go, by the way.
Everybody does.
Oh, I thought she meant we had longer to go on the. Anyway, okay, cool.
No, not the story. Where she's talking about America in general.
Yeah.
She's making a social commentary.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm here for the dick jokes. Okay, where's your Willie?
No, I was just gonna go on to tell you what you could keep in a winter emergency kit.
Brandy,
Hot brandy.
a portable stove to heat it up. That's it. Maybe a winter jacket.
Yeah, a scarf.
Cowboy boots, a perm.
All the Aquanet you can think of.
Yeah, Def Leppard cassette.
LimeWire or whatever. No, we didn't have the internet. Never mind.
Walkman.
Yeah, Walkman.
I love how you think LimeWire is what's from the 80s. You're such a kid. I love it. You're cute.
I was born in the 80s.
88, you barely make it in.
Sweetheart. Shut up, Christy. Well, okay, I do barely make it in, but Tally isn't even in the 80s.
91.
She's as far out of the 80s as you're in the 80s.
Yep.
Uh-oh, this is hurting Beau's brain. You can do
You're
it.
2 years in the 80s and she's 2 years out of the 80s.
I get the math, Christy. What I'm thinking. We are going to have words when we get home, Christy.
You get okay. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're stranded in a car in the dead of winter, the best plan of action is to stay put. Turn the car off if it's warm and keep it warm until better weather or help arrives.
Furiously masturbate.
Make it sweaty.
Yeah.
If it is safe to briefly exit the vehicle, do so to check that the outer exhaust pipe is clear of any snow or debris.
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 That's her Minnesotan coming out.
This will prevent an overexposure to carbon monoxide, a scentless, toxic gas that causes drowsiness and death in a matter of minutes.
Oh.
Mhm.
And it's ideal to keep a little emergency kit if you'd like, which can include but not limited to the following: jumper cables, blankets, winter gear, all sorts of extra jackets, ice scraper, snow brush, flashlights with extra batteries, and if you can, some road flares to draw attention to your area, a first aid kit, jug of water, a small knife or multi-tool like a Leatherman, granola bars, raisins, hand warmers, kitty litter or a bag of sand for traction, small shovel, and a sleeping bag. And all of the items that I just mentioned above can fit inside the sleeping bag in the bed of your trunk.
How big's your car?
I throw candles in too. Candles are a good one because inside your car, you can just light it up and it keeps it warm.
And potentially explode.
Yeah. Who wants to freeze to death when you could explode to death?
Yeah, you don't want to freeze to death. Let's just blow ourselves up.
Yeah. But I mean, in today's world, who doesn't have a cell phone? But I mean, I have an emergency kit in my car. I like to use the those weird bags with zippers that bedding comes in to put like my survival stuff in, and then just lay it in the trunk.
You could be in an area where you don't have phone service. So
Yep.
How often have you had to replace the items in your kit, Tally?
I haven't.
Never?
she's got granola bars in there from 2000.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm like, you don't take them out. You want them to be in the car.
The raisins and sultanas that were in there have turned into wine.
she's a few wines deep. She pulls out the road flare.
Accidentally shoots my rescuer, lights them up. Whoops. Excuse me, sir. I thought you were the abominable snowman.
Yeti. No, do you guys have due to the two Australians, would you guys have like the down unders, would you guys have a safety kit in your car, and what would you have in it? Because that's literally the same kind of shit that I would have.
We'd have one for getting stranded in the heat.
We have ones for stranded in the heat, and also just you have to have, not have to. Most people that I know have a first aid kit in their car because you can go outside and get bitten by a spider or a snake or stung by something, and you should have a first aid kit in your car. Like I've needed to use my first aid kit in my car over the last 10 years, 4 or 5 times, babe?
Yeah, this is why I'm asking, because you guys in your first aid kit, there's like anti-venom. That's crazy to me.
No, but we have tourniquets and stuff. So like if someone was to get bitten by a snake, you don't suck the poison out, regardless of what people have told you. You don't do that.
I love sucking fluids out of people.
Pee on it.
I bet you do.
If it's on a foot or a hand or whatever, you use the tourniquet to tie above the bite as tight as you can to stop, to stem the flow of the venom through the body.
But you'll potentially lose.
Yes, you can potentially lose the limb, but you're still alive.
Why don't they just give you anti-venom?
Because we don't carry it. We can't go to the fucking chemist and buy anti-venom, Richard.
You know what my favorite thing is
alchemy.
When they were doing first aid, they go to us, if you get bitten by a snake and you kill it, try and bring the head with you. Try and bring the snake or the spider with you so that we can tell what venom, like what it is, so that we can kill it if you don't know the snake. And so we know what anti-venom to use. And I was like, that is the last thing I am thinking about, right? Like that is the
picking
last
up
thing
a
I'm
snake
thinking
head. Oh yeah.
Just leave it attached.
They only want the head. Arr, just
that fucker just bit me.
What type of snake bit you? This one.
Yeah, exactly.
That was really, really awesome.
That was fun. Yeah, fun. For sure. I loved it.
I apologize to her if she ever hears this. I didn't mean that you should die. I just mean that you're a little bit irresponsible. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Don't drink and drive. But if you need to survive in the dead of winter, drink a little.
It's such a cool thing. I didn't know about that at all, and I find that so interesting that your alcoholism can work in your benefit sometimes. You know.
Yeah, short term, not long term.
Might save your life.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. Head on over to our Facebook and Instagram to join in on the conversations about all things unethical. Just search Unethical Podcast. You can also find us on Patreon, where you can get access to all of our super awesome content, uncut videos of our discussions, and early release of all the episodes. We are adding fun stuff all the time, so you should definitely come and check it out. Thanks again. We appreciate all of you.
Gotta catch 'em all.